So, like I was saying, the enemy has already decided basically how it's going to do you. Sometimes from childhood, whatever the case may be. Even with the guys, like I said, that was in church. You a man of God, you coming to church. You came for your soul to be saved. Oh, he looks good. He got muscles, sis. Yeah, that's called muscles, but we gonna say muscle, sis. And he's gorgeous. I mean, look at him. He's so attractive. Look at him. You look good because you serving God. Some of the most beautifulest things you'll see because it serves God, right? So at this point, you got people trying to hook up with you, get in relationships with you, trying to sit up here and talk to you, date you, pretty much trying to be with you. And you're like, okay, I'm not talking to nobody. I don't want to be in a relationship with nobody. I don't want to date because guess what? They see the scars. They see the scars you went through from dating. I can't say that there are bad dudes out there. I can honestly tell you, I have seen good dudes out there. I can't say all dudes are bad. I can't say that all dudes are horrible. Most of these people been tricked into certain situations. The realest thing I heard, I had at that time he was lieutenant and his name was Wilson. I bring this guy. I was sitting up there, bringing an inmate in to see him, and he knew that the guy was on drugs. And he asks him one question: "What woman turned you out?" And the guy say, "How you know?" or whatever. He say, "Cause I see it in you." He said, "What woman turned you out?" And I never heard of a man saying that a woman was the reason for his condition of imprisonment. And a lot of our young men is falling victim to conditions of imprisonment, conditions of hoism, conditions of prostitution, and it's connected to a woman. And he's trying to rid himself of the problem by using now another woman. We looking at all these ungodly movies and stuff, 50 Shades of Grey, and you know it's ungodly and sinful, but this is that Epstein that they talking about. But they done made you think it has something to do with love and care and respect, and they don't have none of that for you. It is what it is. That's that Epstein. That's that Diddy. That's that hoism. But you're not ready to deal with that. That's that child molestation that you're not ready to deal with, that you're not ready to cope with. This is that sexual immorality. Because let me stop calling out names, because I'm going to tell you another secret that most people don't actually get the opportunity to know, because a lot of times this is what the media and what is flamboyantly and publicly told. But at the same time, I can tell you about some trumps cards that'll get you caught up in some situations, and that'll make it seem like you something that you not. But you ain't never been Trump like that, because we sitting up here, we dealing with a president with the name of a spade that's overthrowing a lot of cards. So although in the order of things, it's supposed to be a certain way, but it ain't. So we dealing with Trumps that are in high position, saying it's going to stay in certain positions in certain situations, and they don't have a problem naming an innocent person and having it take the blame for it. So let me stop calling names, because sometimes we're going to have some innocent people incarcerated, and they had nothing to do with nothing, did nothing wrong, But this stuff that they don't want to talk about, this that, oh, I see that scar, you're not healed yet, and they slice it right back open, and you're not ready to deal with it and cope. Because I'm gonna be real with you. This morning, I'm going through this point where I'm thinking about my childhood, and as a child, they always looked at me as a boy, or they seen me as a girl. They knew that I was a girl, but I hung out with the young men and stuff like that, playing basketball. I was very tomboyish, and that's what they call us, tomboys, and stuff like that. And I wasn't nothing like what other girls would be like. Like, my hair sometimes wasn't done. My mom would have to take me and get my hair did. I didn't have a problem not having my hair did. I didn't have a problem wearing regular clothes. I didn't have a problem doing what guys did, and stuff like that. But that spirit that's connected to that is a spirit of Gomorrah. And it has its own place. And although it seems innocent, it's a spirit that is trying to destroy the fabric and the natural order of things. See, because it has no restrictions. See, because the new world order that they're trying to usher in, it has no respect for order, demand, laws, rituals, none of that. It knows about it. It's going to practice it. Like this man, like I tell you, it'll rape you off every day while you're out your mind and say, okay, I got it right where I want to, because even if I stop, it'll rape itself. It will masturbate. It's going to rape itself. So these rituals, it knows what it's doing. It's knowing why it's tearing you, why it's abusing you, why it's doing that. It's not until you begin to know who you are and that certain things are not of you that you realize, okay, man, I got to really get in with God, because this thing is really getting out of control. This thing is really, it got to get dealt with. You get what I'm saying? At the point, my whole life, they've been trying to look at me and make me a boy. I look at my granddaughter and the same issues. So these are homosexual spirits lurking around our children. Homosexual spirits lurking where? Around our children. Around our people. So I'm going to tell you what God did. God delivered me from all that foolishness, and I started dating dudes and stuff like that. But guess what? The dudes were on assignments because they were never good dudes. Whether they were good dudes or not, they were never good dudes. Because guess what? There was times where I had already gotten a message of the switches and tears that had already taken place in relevance to the relationships that I was in. There were switches and tears that took place, so that I could never really see a man as a real man. But this is stuff that people don't really talk about. And I'm pretty sure it's vice versa for you guys, because they try to make you a woman to a certain degree. Oh, that man's soft. He this, he that. Guess what? You was at your strongest point, at your softest point. You were at your strongest point, at your softest point. So they set up that they come whoop you with bronze because you was at your strongest point while you was soft. Or maybe they used bronze because you had the brains. You got the brains, they using bronze. You got the bronze, they using brains. So know what you're dealing with. So, however, this was their way to manipulate young people into homosexuality by telling them, oh, bro, you soft, you a girl, you ain't having sex, you still a virgin, dude, we got to get you a prostitute. And you don't understand the strings and the ties that come to some of these things, because even in Gomorrah, when Lot gave his daughters to them, he didn't know that they were going to be possessed. Those girls were still possessed, and God's delivering Lot and his daughters and the mom out of Gomorrah, taking, okay, y'all need to flee, y'all need to head into another direction. The spirits were still following those two girls. That's how they ended up raping Lot. That spirit was there. They got the runs, they got the physical, they got the strength. So it attacked them mentally and say, okay, it ain't no men. Go ahead on and rape that joke off. It ain't no men. Some of you guys are going to end up in situations where they're going to tell you, okay, it ain't a lot of women. And you're going to have to take turns sodomizing. Using your Gomorrah tactics on women, harming them. At what point is you going to end in the destruction? And some are doing it with the young men, because it's a group of girls. They keep taking advantage of these young men. He's striking. He's handsome. He got good features and all of this different stuff. So he gets sodomized, we call it. But it's actually Gomorrahized. But hey, sodomized sounds a little bit better, because this is what's unknown. How Sodom got into it. So he gets done to him what is unknown. But it's crazy though. It's really crazy. And to talk about some of this stuff, okay, the way I conquered over certain stuff, being a no sexual. Okay, you want me to sleep with multiple men? I'm not finna do it. I'm following God's commandments, so I'm not having sex with no men. You want me to be gay? I'm not gonna be gay. I'm not gonna have sex with no woman either, or no man, no nothing. You want pedophiles? I'm not gonna be a pedophile. I'm not touching no kid inappropriately. Every time I'm sitting up there changing the diaper or something, I want somebody present. Every time I'm doing something, okay, if it ain't a grown up, it's gonna be a little child. You gonna witness this. Because they going to wake you up as a little child and have you tell the truth. Because I be dog. These walls going to tell the truth on me. I get caught up in some foolishness. Because like I said, you might be an Epstein or a Diddy and you ain't did nothing wrong. Orlando Brown around here trying to tell them the truth, and they send up there calling you crazy. You better believe it. Jared Ward write this thing. You better believe it. It's some of this stuff ain't all lies. Some of it ain't all the truth either. Better know what you're dealing with. It get real around here when you're trying to do the will of I am. When you sit up there and you say, okay, I'm going to do what God say do, it gets real. You can't understand how many times I was told, hey, she's going to go, we sending her to prison. We sending her to jail and stuff. And God had to deliver me from the hands of the enemy. These people ain't playing. Cause even if they say a year and a day, that's prison time. You be in the county's done turned into a prison. You better know what you dealing with. A year and a day is a felony. That's prison. That county done turned into a prison for you. They sending you to prison. Some of you did more than a year and a day. Some of them, they send to prison for 6 months. I had one guy came down to the prison that I was working at, and I remember him saying I got to only be here for 6 months because I did most of my time. I was in prison for like a year or so, and he said most of his time got done right there at the county. And all he had to do was 6 months at the prison. But 6 months is a long time. Know the enemy. Know the enemy. Know the enemy. Don't have a problem telling lie. I once worked at an airport. I'm going to tell you how the man did me at the airport. I'm working at the airport. They're trying to steal my credentials. They wanted my identification information, my credentials. Like that, the guy was like, "You're gonna give me your badge," and I'm saying, "No, I'm finna take my badge and turn it in." This man say, "You can either give me your badge or else." I say, "Sir, I'm not giving you my badge at all." Now, remind you, I worked at a few other places. Like I was working at a hospital, and I left. I didn't even turn my badge back in because I wasn't working for him no more or whatever. And I left my badge at home. Those badges disappear. So I started developing the habit and the attitude. Oh, you getting your badge back because I don't want nothing to do with this. And it started at the airport where the guy he set up there. I mean, this man wanted to take me all out through about my badge. Now, remind you, I done went through federal training. The feds told me, they was like, don't let nobody get your badge, use your badge, or whatever. Because remind you, I got access to planes. I got access to so much stuff. I'm like, no, dude, you can't get my badge. And the whole time, they're trying to infiltrate me and force me to give them my badge. This is how real it is. This is religion. See, because you're not seeing it as religion, but this is just regular situations converting into religion where they force you to give them something that they know they're not supposed to have rights to because they're trying to do a switch, a tear, all kinds of stuff. So his switch and his tear was, I'm going to use her badge, hire somebody and do some illegal stuff, and she's going to take the fall for it. And y'all still ain't woke to that. Sometimes they're stealing. They're using your identity, your credentials, your social security card, your birth certificate, opening up bank accounts, opening up all kinds of stuff, working under your social security. You can't even work up under your social security because they working up under it more than you is. So now you're paying $5,000 and $6,000, and you only make $500 and $600, and you only make $30,000 a year, and you like, how is this possible? Because it's sitting up there in the background, it done added on a whole bunch of other stuff to it. But you only seeing what you see. Because remember, you going through vision compromise. And it's connected to it. But you got a lot of IT that's going to say, we're not connected to that. Because guess what? You're not a part of that group. You're not a part of what they got going on. You're not a part of it. But they be clowning real hard on you. When you wake up to certain stuff, you will start realizing, okay, everything that God said was what it really is. Everything that God said is what it really was. The word of God had my best interests at heart. The word of God was really trying to shield me. I be sitting up here, I be telling them when I sat up there and I read the Quran and they talk about that healthy lifestyle and stuff like that, and we learned about Maulid as Christians and stuff like that, and then I'm listening to the Quran talking about the heifer, which is a calf, which is Maulid, which is that thing that they set up there and they living their life like it's golden in sin. And I identified with it because I done did it before. I done lived life in desolation like it was golden in sin. They're putting stuff down your throat. All kinds of stuff. Pee, urine, feces, everything. You name it, them people done did it to your body already. You didn't willingly participate in it. You thought it was because you were drinking apple juice that pee ended up down your throat. No, you actually drank apple juice. The pee ended up down your throat because they poured it there. They don't like you. Clear as day. Don't stop drinking your apple juice. It's not the apple juice. It's them not liking you. You wonder how you stay sick all the time? They sit up there, they spitting down your throat, talking about something. They're doing a ritual where they're going to speak. And this is what they taught them, and they still haven't understand that all they using is technology. All they using is technology. But here you are looking like a clown because you spin down somebody's throat. Talking about you doing a ritual. Because the ritual part of it, let me show you what the ritual part of it is. Nothing but an Adam and Eve syndrome part of it, saying that you're unaware and dumbfounded. You're unaware and dumbfounded to a certain degree. It has knowledge connected to it that you're going to need later on to open certain doors, but you're still a baby to them. You don't know nothing. And you haven't elevated to the level of knowing. So they keep playing you. Know what you're dealing with. But these are the games that people play, and when you talk to them about it, they get mad with you. So know what you're dealing with. I keep telling y'all, stick to the commandments of God. Ain't nothing about the commandments of God that's going to wrong you. Trust me. Hopefully these words encourage you, because I've been rambling on and I've been like all over the place with this with these messages. But at the same time, I mean, well, God bless you. Stay well.